Am I live? I am live. Hello, good morning, afternoon, evening. I hope you are doing well. It's Nigerian XW Speaks here, otherwise known as Trigger. I hope you're doing well. We are one day away from the end of the month, which is insane. It's insane. If it's your first time here, hi, hello, welcome. Great to have you. And if you're returning, hi, family, I see you. I hope you are staying well, keeping well. So we have another reaction video here today to close this out. This is the first one of the ones from the governing body members for this year. Now, as you know, the last few months, what I've been doing is a lot of critiquing the leadership. And this is another one of continuing that. And the reason for me is I still have family that's in here. And I want to know what they've been told. If you watched my last video, I said about how my auntie rang me. And just a few weeks before that, I was just going through one where they were telling their members to ring people who have left. And that's what she did. And so I was sort of prepared for that. I wasn't shocked by that. So I like to know what they're being told, what I can expect from my family members, and also just shining a critical spotlight on what the witnesses are being told. I've got natural light today, so I'm going to move around quickly because my son's birthday party is in about 40 minutes, so I better crack on. I can't talk too much today. So let's jump into it.
Brothers and sisters.
Okay,
welcome.
I think I need to fix the sound. Just bear with me one moment. I know what it is. My son comes on this computer and turns off all sound. So let's have a look. Output device. Let's see, because I gotta hear it.
Welcome to this up.
Still can't hear it. Something going on with the sound. What could that be? What could that be? Let's have a look. If I stop sharing the screen one moment and share it again. So if I stop that, let's try that again. Make sure I share the sound as well. So this is live. This is live stuff for you. So let's try that again. Okay, so share tab audio as well. Make sure we have the sound ready. Let me see. I know what it is. I hope you could even hear me the whole time. Let's see.
Date.
Still not doing it. Let's have a look. I may have to abort this live. Yeah, that's looking right. That's looking correct. So I really don't know. Let's try this again.
The Omicron variant.
There we go. We finally have sound. How many minutes
Brothers
in?
and sisters, welcome to this update.
So this is Kenneth Cook. I believe he's the newest member of the governing body. I think he is. I've not reacted much to his stuff, so let's jump in.
The Omicron variant of the COVID-19 virus has quickly spread throughout the world. The number of cases has exploded. We're saddened to report that as of Friday, January 21st, 26,813 of our brothers have now died from COVID-19.
That number keeps going up.
But there have been some encouraging developments. For those who are vaccinated, cases of Omicron are...
I don't mean to stop here, but I was just thinking, if my sound was jacked up at the start, and so all of my intro, you didn't hear it, my apologies. If you've stuck it out until now, you are the real MVPs, because that was real rookie move. But if you manage to stick it out to here, and I don't know what I'm gonna get because I don't edit stuff, is hi, hello, welcome. Nigerian XJW Speaks, otherwise known as Trigger. Welcome if it's your first time. If you're returning, great to see you. Right, let's jump back in.
Generally milder and have not led to hospitalization or death. For example, you may have heard reports that there has been a major outbreak of Omicron in Puerto Rico. You may also know that Puerto Rico has a very high rate of vaccination. Although 551 cases were reported among our brothers during the recent outbreak, only 3 of our brothers have died, and it is our understanding that all of them had serious underlying health issues. Even one death is too many, yet we're relieved that so few died. Our hearts go out to all who have lost loved ones.
Okay, so I'm just going to pause here. I don't know if I'm going soft or something. There's something about the first few seconds, minute here that almost seems sincere, compared to the rest of them. Like I said, I haven't listened to much of his stuff. So far, so I have nothing to pick on yet. The death rate does call into question, the Jehovah's hand and all of that, and how it's very keen to deal with natural disasters, and the interest in all of that is providing sand for the building of a kingdom hall. And if you don't know what I mean, years ago there was a natural disaster, and according to the governing body, Jehovah's hand in all of that was, never mind the people that died, the storm brought a wave of sands that we needed for building kingdom halls. So it does call that into question, but let's keep going.
Please continue to be careful. The pandemic is not over, and we need to continue to take practical steps to protect our lives and our health. In addition to the pandemic, it has been sobering to watch recent world events unfold. We see one natural disaster after another, and we hear
I know how they're going to
war.
spin this.
The king of the north and the king of the south continue pushing one another.
I'm going to pause there. I believe the king of the north, they say that is Russia. I think that's the theology they're going with right now. So it's, who is the king of the south? I can't keep up with who that one is. But it's so interesting to hear them sort of pulling that. I'm not surprised, but wow, we are straight in there. King of the north, king of the south. We are really playing that game. We're really playing that game. Anyway, let's carry on, Kenneth Cook. Final part of the final
things happening in the world. It reminds us how vital it is that we keep on the watch. We need to stay awake spiritually and not doze off or get distracted. Why? Because we are living in the most critical time in human history.
Like a clockwork.
Jesus knew that the last days would bring challenges that would test our spiritual focus. Out of his deep love, he urged his followers, as recorded at Luke chapter 21, verses 34 through 36.
Can we skip past this thing?
But pay attention to yourselves.
Oh my goodness.
That your hearts never
That's
become
my
weighed
challenge for
down
next
with
time.
overeating
Figure out how to
and heavy drinking and anxieties of
speed this thing up.
life. And suddenly that day be instantly upon you as a snare. For it will come upon all that you, dear brothers and sisters, are.
I just had to move that forward.
The Son of Man.
Okay.
We constantly hear encouraging reports that you, dear brothers and sisters, are working hard to keep awake and remain busy in your service to Jehovah. You're busy in your personal ministry, right?
I'm just going to pause there. Awake is the last adjective I'll use to describe the members. And this is not an attack on the members, by the way. I'm going to clarify. It's linked to the comment he made right after that about keeping busy. They have those people so busy, like on a hamster wheel, day in, day out, week in, week out. They're exhausted. They're not able to stay awake. It's the opposite of that. So I just wanted to point that out. Awake, you could describe the witnesses as a lot of things, but awake, I beg to differ.
Writing letters, making phone calls, and looking for opportunities to share the good news informally. and many were able to auxiliary pioneer during the recent campaign. Staying busy in Jehovah's service is a protection for us, but more is required to protect our hearts. It's vital for all of us to keep awake, to be watchful of things that could pose a danger to us spiritually. What are some of these dangers? Jesus mentioned things like overeating, heavy drinking, and anxieties of life. What are some ways that these things could cause our hearts to become weighed down? First, let's talk about one common cause for anxiety: social isolation. No doubt we have never felt as isolated as we have during this pandemic.
Wait a minute, are they going to start asking people to come back? Because people have been able to dial into the meetings on Zoom and stuff like that for the last 2 years. I wonder if they're about to start asking people to come back. Let me move this way a little bit. I feel like I'm losing some light every now and then. Let's make sure. There we go. Yeah, I wonder if they're going to start asking them to come back now, because talking about social isolation, I'm sorry, but I'm cynical. I don't really see these people experience, and time has shown us that whenever they're making comments on things, it's usually not in the interest of their members. It's like with the mainstream churches, we had pastors that were, really pushing back against, having online church services, because if people are not physically there, the amount they were getting in donations and offerings wasn't just the same. And so that's why they were pushing back on that. So I don't know if they're going to make people come back now. Let's see. I'm running out of time.
It has been necessary to isolate ourselves physically to prevent the spread of COVID-19. But if we're not careful, we could start to isolate ourselves in other ways. Maybe at times we feel Zoom fatigue, and we even want to isolate ourselves virtually. What's the danger? Proverbs 18 verse 1 says, "Whoever isolates himself pursues his own selfish desires. He rejects all practical wisdom." It takes effort to reach out to our brothers by telephone, by video conference, or even with an email or text message. But so often the encouragement that we receive from doing so makes the effort so worthwhile. Often we receive back more than what we may have given.
Okay.
Just as Jesus said in Acts 20, verse 35, there is more happiness in giving than there is in receiving.
Where are you going with this, Kenneth? Where are you going with this?
An article on jw.org entitled "How to Deal with Isolation" made an interesting point under the heading "Cultivate Friendships."
Okay. I'm going to pause this here. So, isolation, not isolating. Now, on the surface, I have no issues with that. Isolation has been a big issue. I mean, I don't know if I just noticed it more or, it's actually more than it was. I'll be interested to see some stats on that and some research. But the number of either suicides or, people in a couple just absolutely losing it from being cooped up together for months on end and just snapping. And there's been a lot of that. So on the surface, I have no issues with, okay, try to not isolate, try to reach out, and you feel better for it. My issue, as always, with this group is that they take something that is harmless, that should be something good, but because everything always has an agenda, it comes back to how does it benefit them? How does it boost their profile? It kind of loses the meaning. But let's see where they're going with this.
Friendships benefit your mental and emotional health and are even more important when face-to-face connections are difficult. If you are confined at home, you may be able to use video conferencing or voice calls to maintain existing friendships and build new ones. We need our brothers and sisters, and they need us. To have a friend, we must be a friend. So be a friend. Could you reach out to someone this week? Perhaps you can think of a friend whom you haven't been able to talk with for some time. The joy of speaking with your friend.
Do you know something in that last sentence? It's starting to go down the condescending route. It's starting to sound a bit condescending. I don't know. It all started out well. It's starting to feel condescending. Let's keep going.
Will no doubt calm some of the anxieties in your heart. We can't wait to get back to our kingdom halls, assembly halls, to have our large regional conventions, special conventions, and even international conventions. In the meantime, we are grateful that we have other means to enjoy these programs, such as Zoom, JW Stream, and in some cases, TV and radio. Of course, most congregations are using Zoom for their meetings. Isn't it encouraging to see our brothers and sisters' faces? We appreciate being able to see them comment and see them singing from the heart.
Okay.
This also helps us
Nothing
to fight
really groundbreaking
isolation.
I mean, just telling them how they should feel.
Even a simple wave can be such.
I like how they use suggestive language. They're trying to tell you what you're supposed to do, and how you're supposed to feel. You should feel excited to see these people's faces. You should be excited to see a wave. Heck, you should be waving yourself. It's suggestive. It's subtle. Ah, my goodness.
An encouragement to others. And we can make it our goal to connect early and stay longer after the meeting.
Why?
We can enjoy visiting with the friends in breakout rooms. Brothers and sisters, these are some practical ways that we can fight back against feelings of isolation and the anxiety that isolation can create in our hearts. Another danger that Jesus mentioned was heavy drinking. Of course, there's nothing wrong with drinking alcohol in moderation. The scriptures describe.
I did a video on the issue of alcoholism in the group. It's right there in my channel, in my doctrines playlist. Because I'm not going to promise to link it up here because I've not been staying on top of those. But it is a problem. It is a problem because they are so restricted. They have so many rules. Alcohol is one of the few things they're allowed to participate in. And so it is a problem. I don't even want to think about what the numbers are going to be like after the last 2 years. It's a real issue.
Wine as a gift from God, designed to make the heart rejoice. But some caution is needed. Why? Remember.
Oh, sorry. I don't mean to stop again so soon, but I'm feeling petty. They dare not ban it. I mean, his colleague Tony Morris, I don't know what he'll do with himself. So they have to keep it on the approved list. You know, Bottlegate. If you don't know what I mean, search on YouTube. Lloyd Evans, Tony Morris, Bottlegate. Hilarious.
Jesus specifically cautioned that our hearts could become weighed down with heavy drinking. Secular reports indicate that many people have increased their alcohol consumption during the pandemic. The article, Alcohol Consumption, How Can You Stay in Control on JW.org states, some people drink more alcohol when they feel stressed, lonely, or simply bored. Are you drinking more than you used to? If so, how can you make sure that your drinking does not get out of hand or lead to alcohol dependence? Even if a person does not get drunk, Immoderate drinking can pose spiritual dangers. Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 11 consider the activity of Jehovah and wonder Jesus specific
Yeah, let's just get to where he finishes reading that. Okay.
and weigh our hearts down and cause us to neglect spiritual things. It can cause us to slow down in the race for life.
Is that
or even
the
to stop
biggest
running
issue?
altogether.
Is that the biggest issue? Not their health, not their families. Is going to cause them to not do as much for your cult? Honestly, this is what I mean.
No wonder Jesus specifically mentioned it when discussing the need to keep awake spiritually. Why not review that article on jw.org, which features 5 tips to help us keep alcohol in its proper place? What is another potential danger to our spiritual alertness? Misuse of social media.
Where was that in the Bible? I thought you said overeating, heavy drinking, and anxieties. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not defending social media, but you can't just be stick to the script. Anyway,
a lot of concern from governmental and medical authorities about the effect that social media is having on people's mental and emotional health. Even more important are the spiritual concerns, the content.
I'm going to try and preempt some of what he's going to say, because I bet he's not going down so much the route of you spending so much time on it. It's not good for your health. Like, he's going there, the content, materials like my videos, other ex-JWs out there making videos criticizing them. That's really what I think he's upset about. Not necessarily the wellness of the people spending a lot of time there. Is, are you watching stuff that's making us look bad? Let's see, just guessing.
The people and the amount of time involved, it can be addictive. Brothers and sisters, if you decide to allow your family to use social media, please be alert. Make sure you have good association with those who promote good spiritual habits, whether on screen or off.
There we go.
The whiteboard animation, Be Social Network Smart, provides some good reminders on how to be balanced, yet cautious when using social media. What's the final challenge we want to consider? Tests of neutrality.
What?
With so many different challenging situations in the world, and even the threat of war in some countries,
I know.
we need to be sure that we are not allowing our hearts to take sides on these issues. How sad it has been to see simple public health measures like wearing masks, hand washing, physical distancing, and vaccinations become controversial, even political. Some of our brothers and sisters have been influenced by the political views of those in their community. Some have turned to the internet and have been deeply influenced by official appearing websites filled with highly political propaganda. Brothers and sisters, be careful. Just because something appears on an official-looking web page on the internet,
you mean like
does not make it
JW.org?
true. We must guard against the spirit of the world.
I'm just going to pause this here. That is one thing. You never find on their website any court cases they lose anytime they're being dragged through the court for covering up CSA. You never see their stuff on their website. The moment one of their members, gets picked up for, conscientious reasons, that thing is front, right, and center. Front, right, and center. Yeah, that'll work. But the times when they're being dragged through the court for their harmful policies, you'll never find that on the website.
Neutral. How appropriate are Jesus' words? Pay attention to yourselves, that your hearts never become weighed down. Let's keep focused on God's kingdom as the only solution to this world's problems.
Okay, I guess that's the main
What
chat
has
bit.
helped some families to keep awake? Let's see as we watch the following video.
So I guess
During
this
the
is the format.
pandemic, it was definitely difficult to keep a good routine, and it was very easy to form bad habits.
During isolation, I spent more time in front of the computer, and it disturbed my sleep pattern.
I had to make an adjustment because with bad habits, they're easy to form and hard to break.
What are these
So
bad
I did a
habits?
little bit of a replacement therapy, I call it, where you switch from mindless TV watching to something that's a little bit more profitable, which is our own TV station, JW Broadcasting.
As I spent a lot of time watching television, I heard a lot of negative information about vaccination. I was frightened.
I felt pressure from the media, and I decided not to get vaccinated for some time. We often ask Jehovah for guidance. The governing body updates were timely and helped us to make the right decisions.
When the pandemic first started, I had a lot of free time on my hands, so I
I'm
was just
gonna
on
stop
social
this
media all
abruptly.
the
Let
time,
me just
or on
pause this
technology
here.
all the
I think I have some guests coming in early, but I think we finished the main part of what he said. I don't think anything too exciting is going to come off this. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Anything that I missed, let me know. And yes, I'm going to leave it here. This was a short, not too much to talk about here. Kenneth Cook, not much to say. In summary, don't be isolated. Watch out for content that we don't like, and instead of watching that, watch our stuff instead. Seems to be it. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. Have a good rest of the day, and I will speak to you on the next one. Bye.